everybody, and welcome to finally another episode of Curse Mother Mystery. Tonight we're playing the module Curse of Strahd, but it's been changed, transformed, and we're playing in the system and the setting of Frostmark RPG, everything created by moi. There's a content warning for tonight of bad language, heavy topics, gothic horror, and perhaps some gore. We shall see. But with me, I have a wonderful cast of players. I usually have Lady Lyria, furthermore, our half-elven magist, played by Jules, who unfortunately is recovering from emotional trauma. She has taken mental damage and she is long resting. But certainly, and not least, we have Amartya, Shishi Warlock, played by Cookie. How you doing? Welcome, welcome.
Hello. Well, it's been a while, and I have this new ring that I bought. It's quite charming, if I say so myself.
We have Nix the Vistani, our tiefling bard, played by Adriano.
It's been so long, I've almost missed all the trauma.
And certainly not least, Jivkos, our undead paladin, played by Weevu. Hello.
It's good to be back.
Oh God, it's so good to hear you guys' voices. All right.
Yes, it is!
Yeah. What happened last time, gang?
Last time, episode 116, I know this said 66, Eva's guiding hand. There's a list of an awful lot of people because we arrived in the Vistani camp with these celebrations in full swing, I would like to say. But firstly, we begin with Team Trauma and creeping through the inner gates, meeting far too many fucking bats, as there is way too many in this entire place. I think they should get a little bit cold, don't you think?
Bat infestation.
Yeah. We pause as the coach that takes us into the Vampire Lord's lair waits with an open door welcoming, but quickly make our way past it and out of the castle's front yard with a very quick sigh of relief as we also make our way past the second pair of gates. Irius shares a little bit of his very good experiences in the mists once we come upon the Sairfalls Bridge as his party was investigating reports of missing people around the island. But before they came across a group of traveling tieflings. I wonder who they are. There, they met chiefly Ion? Ion, yeah, who told them stories and recommended they continue their search. Eventually entering the mists, finding Iria and Ismark in the village, and then going on ahead to confront the Vistani at Serpool. There, they met Ion again, who was dodgy at best, like all Vistani, but more serious stories were told. No, just stories. One of which concerned them greatly about a prince they had protected. When they realized who it was and found a carton full of kidnapped people in the forest, they very quickly realized that it's probably quite a good idea to leave. On their way out, though, Madame Eva, in her eternal wisdom, thrust, interesting words, 3 cards and told him a very short prophecy. Adam Eva's short but sweet, I guess. And at that point, he didn't lend her any credibility and leaving without a word. Sometime later, him and his friends and the peasant army they gathered, the best kind, communism, marched on the castle and ignored the carriage that awaited there. But then they were met by the court and a bit of an undead army on the way to the drawbridge. That's a bit more than a couple of communist peasants.
Okay.
Here is where Irius met with his defeat all the way back on the Sairfalls Bridge, and where he was thrown over the railing, which is quite a bit farther for a dwarf, given their stature. And once he had no magic left to throw at Strahd, he awoke with Madame Eva, who, in her motherly nature, took care of him, and when he was strong enough, he ran, with no word to thank, which Irius is, regretting, but it's a bit late now. At that point, the trauma, both physical and mental, had transformed him into the creature that you met and ultimately helped to heal. Aww. Isn't that nice in this fucking horrible place?
Yeah.
A discussion of the meanings of the cards that were gifted begins, which brings Nyx into thought, which is a very rare thing, and a bit of a monologue, which is a very, very common thing.
We're throwing some heads. Holy shit. Okay.
Listen, it's been 6 weeks since I could. What Eva really wanted, and consequently, we deliberate if we should visit Sir Pools or not, which is interrupted by a sudden appearance of 3 ravens trying to make contact, but some are bats intercepting and chasing them off, Bit of brooding, quite a common thing with us. Bit more on the bridge, thinking back on our past visions, Vistani, all great, happy things, before we continue on our journey until we have to make camp. During it, the Strad radar reveals that the Vampire Lord visited the Sir Pool and headed back to the castle. And we also murdered quite a few bats. Yes. Thank God. The next day, we make a little shortcut towards Sir Pool, since we're without horse and wagon, and there's some confusion if we should really visit the camp or not. But the violent glow of the missionary Tarocca card persuaded Nyx to visit his home once more, and he has a petulant tantrum. It's normal, but ultimately chooses to trust in his adopted mother. Team of traumatized people, I was going to try and think of another alliteration but couldn't, resolves to have his back every step of the way. Jivkos surprises Nyx with some wise words but soon becomes disappointed again. Yeah, you follow the stomping Nyx the rest of the way. Discover a couple hundred camping Vistani by the Sir Pool camp. Nice wee family reunion. After marveling a bit at the amount gathered, Nyx shares some quick tips of how to carry yourselves around the interestingly natured brethren of his, and we make our way into the camp, meeting a scouting party who we see before they notice us, which we share a quick convo, wherefore we're welcomed in. Illyria is spotted and treated deferentially. I think that's good. And there's
yes. Differently better, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Pushing on, we're submerged into this bad sound. Vistani energy, that can be taken so many ways. Seeing several microcosms of circles and wagons, workstations and central campfires. And Illyria is oftentimes spotted with small polite greetings thrown her way. Jivkos is avoided. Nyx gets some recognition and impressed looks, as unbeknownst to him, Jivkos and Hamasfada, yes, has moved up to walk behind him as almost bodyguards. You walk past the gathered group, listening and talking to Ariel, who seems to discuss something about Strad, noticing us but ignoring us for now, and continuing onward to the original circle of wagons of Eva, the OGs. Seeing the large stacked wooden pyramid, which is Eva's funeral pyre to be, behind the group of gathered Vistani that Nyx and Illyria met weeks ago, but Ion and Durania are not present. Nyx questions if this is what Eva would have wanted, whereas Flora? I don't want to, Flora?
French for flower, Flor, yes.
Flor.
Agreed.
Flor, yeah. Hey, I'm walking in. Was Flora agrees with him to say she isn't sure what to do. The band tries to shut down such queries, so more dissent isn't sown, as he argues. When Nyx furthers his point, and upon Saban asking what is wrong with the Vistani, Nyx claims another family now. Aww. They are free to do whatever they want, as it has nothing to do with him, and that stands team to disappoint some of them. Aww. Next, Flor informs Nyx of a found note where Eva gifts him her deck of Tarocca. It is clear that the deck is magical. Deck of many things. As he draws the missionary card at random.
Please, no! Why?
When prompted, he explains that it represents the personal journey of growing up into an independent and wise person. It is time that the Vistani does the same. The Vistani starts bickering, as always, about who they are supposed to listen to, and we learn that Saban wants to listen to Luvash with his plea of protecting the Vistani in the wake of what has happened, and the Count's plans for them, versus Kato is on the side of Arigal, and agrees they should take this opportunity to grow out of the mud that they are stuck in. Flor explains that there's some people want Luvash or Arigal to become the next Madame Eva. Nyx exclaims frustration. but they all think that Madame Eva wanted them to bow down to a tyrant. And Saban tries to ride Nyx's coattails by twisting them into what he said to argue Luvash's side, of becoming self-sufficient and only listening to the count when it suits him, because that would go so well. And the bickering proceeds. Hamasfodder rarely asks about Pato, and Illyria humorously explains about the tussles in the bushes. Meanwhile, Sophia comes up and asks Nyx which party she should vote for after the funeral. The isolating Luvash, the ambitious Arigal, or the Council of Elders, who want everyone to remain the same. And shares that she's scared of all of this rapid change. Nyx wants the vote to be stopped, that the Vistani learn to live for themselves, and that nothing is owed anymore. And Sophia expresses her hope that Nyx could lead them instead, as Eva's chosen heir. Maybe we need an outside perspective to shed some light on the darkness that festers within.
Yeah. Yeah, damn. Good job.
What's the reading?
Yeah. There's a lot of shade. Jesus Christ. I know you're tall, but come on.
I can't stop it, it's just natural.
Thank you, nonetheless. The most important parts were definitely said. All right. This should wake some nostalgia.
It's so good.
For sure. Okay. Late afternoon has become early evening at the extended Stairpool Vistani encampment, and the Vistani are showing no signs of slowing down. Instead, as the faint colors of the sunset deepens within the mist, the intensity of the Vistani's thirst for life broadens. Music gets louder, dancing more frantic, speech more passionate. The central pyres of each Vistani ring begin to glitter like stars in between the dark trees of the Svalich forest. Back at Eva's original campfire, in the shadow of her corpseless pyre-to-be, you find yourself still. The Vistani continue to bicker about what is the best path forward, but as stomachs begin to growl, it provides a welcome excuse to pause the quarrel. Children are brought elsewhere for supper, care, and their beds. Bella and Wen excuse themselves with their newborn baby, and Nico and Tara head off to join other young teenagers at another fire pit, as the adults are totally lame. Sophia retreated into a tent with a raging blush on her cheeks. Apparently, she became so flustered she ran away in her own shyness. Mirabelle, Cato, and Sorbia retreat up onto the love seat for privacy, while Saban and Fleur team up in a nearby tent to get some food going for themselves and all of you newcomers. Which grants the four of you some semblance of alone time at the now vacant logs framing the campfire. The Vistani can certainly be a bit overwhelming for those unfamiliar, and thus most of you sit down with a breath of relief. This area has become relatively calm, with only the sounds of the cracking fire, the softly smattering rain on the cloth hoisted above your heads, the gentle crashing of lake waves against the sandy shore, the muffled noises of the softly speaking Vistani up on the wooden platform, and the occasional respectful approach of a Vistani or two leaving an offering at the base of the funeral pyre. After a silent moment of just existing and recuperating some social energy, and for Nyx, gawking at Eva's gift in his hands, you begin to turn to each other once more. So, in drama, what would you like to do?
Nyx will just stand there holding the gifted set of like an heirloom tarot cards, and it is very pensive at this point in time. He's like, his eyes are darting this way and that as he's looking up and down, like he's in deep in thought, with a furrowed brow. I must admit, I kind of didn't expect this.
Why
I
not?
thought, oh, I don't know. Maybe I was done with these folk at Sepul. Maybe I didn't expect anything to come out of it. Maybe I thought that maybe Dorenia has taken everything from Madame Eva. She assumed leadership. Or that my exile meant that I was entitled to nothing. And yet, here I stand holding something that I never thought I would ever touch. I can still hear Madame Eva scolding me as a young boy as I try and sneak one of the cards off her table.
Nix.
Matthias Bexxy as for those ones. I will make a bad question fast for that. That's the market. But
One thing I did not understand, but
Are you close to your mic?
I think so. Yes. Okay. How about now?
Yeah,
Better.
a bit better. Can you
Okay.
just...
So I need to.
Yes.
Okay. Nix. One thing I didn't understand is that I did not think you'd like to be involved in this tiny business at all.
But there's one thing about wanting to be involved, and then another thing to be thrust into your hand some sort of legacy that you're expected to lead. It's pulling the same card that Madame Eva gave me. You can't deny that some sort of magical shenanigans are happening here.
Yeah, I do not deny that things are a bit fishy, but I would just like it to have more careful approach. I do not think we have enough information yet on how to act.
This is true, which is why I think that I need to get a handle on what these cards can do. And if we are lacking information, surely the cards that tell the future should provide at least something of a guidance. No?
More than we have. Hopefully.
I will also...
Illyria leans over to kind of grasp one of your hands, and she squeezes. Her hands give you like a quick smile, but then her face kind of falls back into being serious. Whatever you need to do, I got your back. If you say the word and we're out of here immediately, or if you want something more, then tell me how I can help.
As goes for us all.
I'll be clear with you all. When I jumped into this camp, it was my entire intention to just wash my hands of everything. Like, I could give a damn about how they would drink to the memory of Eva without knowing who she truly was, and desecrating her memory with these deals, the Lord, that clearly were not what she intended. And to throw some insults, to tell people to go fuck themselves, needs no further encouragement from me, usually, but it was my intended goal to just absolve myself of my past, but here I am standing with a piece of my past in my hands. And the words of a cousin telling me that you would want me to lead these people. Lead them where?
Yes, a good thing, all in all. How further in military stuff. Do you think that they may be able to help our cause, given the order?
That is a point to make, I suppose. If we are looking for allies, here's an army.
It does seem that quite a few are either wishing to coexist or follow him, though. May cause hardship.
I hate to bring up Rickton, but I am. He was extreme in his approach, but he had some strong feelings about what the alliance between Vistani and the Count means.
What were they?
Well, I think he meant to starve him by removing food sources. And so, genociding, like, the Vistani people to prevent them from bringing in more people.
That is
Yeah.
fucking terrible.
Extreme. Killing our people, the people that I have known, people of this land, just to prevent Strad from being able to feed or grow. That's not a solution. And everyone around this camp has no idea about what kind of solution is required to actually be free of that monster.
I believe there is only one, but I know they would not agree with me.
I hate to point out, I certainly do not agree with the approach, but to make the Vistani stop kidnapping people would be a good thing.
If the
Right.
Vistani may leave, why do they stay?
They are permitted to leave. They do not have free reign of going in and outside the mist.
Ah,
It's not like I could just leave you all inside the mist here and just go on my merry way. This is done at Strad's behest. But that is a point to make. This land is what is containing these people. I wonder, would it not be better for them to not be here?
would it not be better for there to be no way to contain them?
Well, to do that, we would have to clear the mists, and to clear the mists, we need to have the backing of as many people as possible to be able to overthrow Strahd. And to gain the backing of many people, you're basically saying that I would have to convince hundreds of Vistani here to follow a cause that is not keep the status quo, or, you know, do a little thing every now and again. We're talking about revolution.
I think that is the only way.
Perhaps the Vistani people are comfortable with our current arrangement. Maybe if we show them that the alliance with Strahd is not a sustainable way of life, more will march toward our cause instead of Strahd's.
That will require me to join the foray of this mockery of a voting system and put my name in the hat, so to speak.
Perhaps it may not be best to do it so straight on in anti-Strahd, as it seems he has come here himself and will therefore be able to know if something like that happened. sense.
Oh, it doesn't matter even if you had never come here. I'm sure someone in this camp has some form of direct communication with Strahd, or he's watching from the forest line, or wherever. I mean, but that doesn't really change anything. Whether he knows or doesn't know, one way or another, he's going to know. And it's not like I have any true favor with Strahd right now. And Nyx like rubs his neck, remembering the time when Strahd pulled him out of the hole by his neck.
Yeah, even I doubt what I can do currently, and he's not happy.
I am very sure I would have negative in that.
So if we're on negative, what difference does it make? It's time to stop pussyfooting around the name of the monster that runs these lands. But I still think my first thought might be prudent. If information is lacking,
Agreed.
it would be interesting to see whether or not these cards actually are able to provide us with anything.
I do not think we should do it in such an open space, if we do.
Well, no, I can go into one of the Vistani wagons, and maybe Sofia can afford some sort of space that is away from prying eyes. They can have some time to myself to be able to understand.
All right.
I may be able to gather information.
Yes, well, this is one thing. If I'm
Perhaps
going to be
turn
doing
into
that, it would be great if each of you could, split up, mingle, try and gain some information about what is being said about Aragal, Luvash, and the elders, and what their points are about where they are going with trying to convince others that their way is the best way, and give me some sort of ammunition to, well, combat their arguments.
Yes, I can perhaps change my form to a tiefling, and then I'll be a lot less threatening if someone has hostile intentions towards us.
I am unsure to what extent I could do.
It's not really my forte either, also considering my history with maybe it's better me and Jivkovs remain here to hold the fort, so to say.
Stay with you, and also as there is a chance that Strahd may return here.
Well, Jivkos, here, you don't have to be kept out of the loop. And Nyx takes his hat of disguise
Nice!
and tosses it to Jivkos.
I don't know if he's actually seen it work.
No.
You just
No, you haven't seen it work, no.
He just looks down at the hat and then looks back over to you.
get used to it, feel it out a little bit, but it's pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. You just think about who you want to look like, and poof. I don't need it here.
Okay. Is there something I should look like other than a tiefling?
The choice is yours, Chief Cos.
Yeah, what do you want to look like?
That's a good question.
For Jivkas, this must be a huge moment.
Oh
of
my
like,
God,
holy
yeah.
macaroni.
He is currently, like, looking at the hat between his large claw-like hands. Just not looking at the hat, but rather looking through it and just thinking. As he then places it atop his head and attempts to use it to look like his old self.
You need to attune.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't know that, so he's going to try it and then look disappointed.
Like I said, get used to it, learn with it, sit with it for a bit, think real hard about it for about an hour, and
You could have
then
just
maybe-
said, I need to attune. And then it would not be as embarrassing.
I mean, you look pretty cute wearing the hat, nevertheless.
That's the way.
Just like sighs deeply.
I do agree with that.
And Nyx basically gives like looks to each of you before wanting to
Yes,
go over to Sophia to try and find a way out. But feel free to say anything.
I don't want to blow my cover, so I'll go pee for a bit.
And Hamasfada is going to go into the woods for a bit, and you hear the distant sounds of like nuts cracking, which you know is bones cracking, and you see coming back this really cute like neighbor's daughter, sort of red teeth willing with like really pale blonde hair, which is tied in like a pigtail with the biggest eyes, and like this kind of stupid but like in a charming way smile, almost like a tiefling bim. I don't know, say like himbo, like what's the female version of himbo?
Bimbo.
A bimbo, yeah.
Jesus.
So it's like a tiefling, like a Vistani Valley girl almost.
Oh god.
Valley Girl Tiefling.
Valley Girl
Okay.
Tiefling.
Oh, yeah, Valley girl, yeah.
Have you tried mushroom assisted meditation?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. Nice.
I need a sip.
Excuse
cup of
me,
my
is that my
wine.
head? Like,
Arigo is really hot.
What if you guys like learn about Strad? I know he's like really hot, right?
And
Oh,
like
God,
she's walking
yeah.
with almost like a skip to her step, so it's like really
Okay.
jovial sort of.
Fucking hell.
Nightmarish.
presentation.
Okay. Alright.
Is this my mushroom spice latte?
Extra foam, extra cream, 100 degrees. Okay, yeah, fucking.
Okay.
God.
Illyria puts a hand on Iria's shoulder and she says, well, if we're going to split up, I think it's good for me and Irias to go. I think he has a dubious presence, and if he's with me, I think people not look twice on him. And then I guess Valley Girl Vistani can go
Yes,
with Jubcast.
what about me? Yes, oh.
Yes,
Is he
stranger.
like burly?
What? I mean, no, he hasn't transformed yet because he needs an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you can go with Jubcast.
Yes, I can go with Jove, cause I can talk about so many things. Vistani fashion and like what's my favorite Vistani drink, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a shoe-in for retro.
Oh my god, guys.
Lyra pats your
God.
rotting shoulder and she says, good luck, I'm going.
He just sort of nods, just still like holding on to the hat, and goes to go sit down at sort of the well, he'll wait to see where Nyx goes and then go sit down sort of nearby it so he can sort of wait around there while he's attuning.
Smart.
And he will also just real quick check if fucking Big Daddy Strad is here.
Illyria shoulder punches Nyx, and then she takes Iria's hand and she heads into the forest to see what she can find out. The Strahd radar tells you
Stradar.
the Stradar. Oh,
Radar,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Stradar.
Stradar.
The spreader.
Guys, you like my Stradar?
Stradar.
Stradar.
Oh my god, that's
It's going crazy.
like brilliant, it's
Strada.
Okay, people.
Okay,
I'd
okay.
rather be with you.
Guys, this is not set.
It's like I feel like it's like over this way.
Just got
Jesus
the Nemesis. If it was
Christ.
in that voice, if it was in that fucking voice, God.
Like I'm getting a serious vibe.
Okay. You
Shut up!
you close your eyes. And you focus not on the head for a moment, but Strahd instead. And your mental kind of military kind of radar, like your vision turns like green, and there's like a, pinging noise, and like a handle of a clock that pulsates, and go ping, 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 and you get like a little like pinging light. As the raven flies about 45 hours northwest. West-northwest.
Probably, therefore, in his castle of isolation.
Yeah. That
The
feels a little
vision.
far for the castle, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, wait, you said northwest, not southeast.
Yeah.
West.
It was northwest, yeah.
Oh.
West-northwest, so more west than north. But
Oh yeah, so
somewhat
it is
north.
probably it is the castle. Yeah.
What?
It is
The-
the castle, or is it
No.
further? I don't know the geography.
Ravenloft, as a raven flies, are a couple of hours north, east of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where
This is 45 hours northwest.
Is that over in the town?
No, it's like way outside the mist almost.
Oh shit. Alright.
Oh my god, is that really far
He's not here.
away?
He's not here, so.
Okay. What do you want to do next?
Well, next we'll find a secluded spot or like an unoccupied wagon, someplace that people aren't going to like look over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And he's first going to identify the cards to learn how to use them, and then he will proceed to perform a reading for himself.
Damn. It's pretty easy to find an empty wagon right now, since there's so many, around. And there's certainly one like parked here that is pretty close. It's like dinner time, so most Vistani at this point have like joined some kind of cooking station to make food, or sitting somewhere outside eating, because Vistani prefer to eat communally outside rather than isolated inside of the wagons anyway. And considering the Vistani is very much sharing is caring kind of behavior, like basically what's yours is mine and the other way around. There's only like personal effects that are truly treasured. So walking into somebody else's wagon to use the space for a while and not anybody else being there is completely fine.
Sounds very Swedish.
Whoa, allemansrätten,
Småbröderna.
Basically, with a bit more mushrooms, I guess. Jivkas, you said you were gonna stay outside, and
Yeah, so
kind of
not far off where
Yeah.
Nix is, just so it's slightly in sight, and then just sit down and attune to it. Chill.
Yeah.
Maybe like listen about if he can while he's attuning.
Well, yeah, for sure. It's not like you can do some active perception checks,
Yeah.
but if you will get the first advanced warning if something goes
Yeah.
on for sure. Sure. Yeah. No problem. You do get a lot of strange looks, but in comparison to how you remember like Barovians would react to your kind of like cursed state whenever they would walk into you, you know, in the woods.
A lot of screaming.
A lot of screaming, a lot of running, a lot of monster calling, a lot of dread, a lot of shitting their pants.
Passing out, yeah, all of that.
And whilst the Vistani don't particularly like the way you smell, they have some standards. The look they give you is not warm. It's not inviting or welcoming, perhaps not, but it's curious. Like, indeed, your curiosity, a trinket, something to perhaps find out what's going on with you. And even if it doesn't feel completely right to be treated this way, it's certainly a welcome change.
Much.
There are some Vistani who try to go up to kind of like poke at you and ask you very personal questions. Like immediately, unabashedly, immediately goes for like, so are you dead? Or are you as furry down there as everywhere else? In that vein.
Yeah.
In that vein.
Yeah, they're Vistani.
But I guess since you're focusing, you kind of give them like a look of, I'm not going to interact with you.
I mean, he'd answer some of them, like, yes, he is dead. The other ones he wouldn't answer.
Whoa. Like, when you start answering these questions and tell them that you're dead, if that is what you do, and like start opening up a little bit to them, there is a crowd gathering around you. And gossip is spreading.
God. Oh no.
Orgy of cows.
This is going to be a snowball effect. What do you want to do?
Hamati, go ahead.
I'm there.
You're right.
There. Organize it and be like, okay, guys, I know you have a lot of questions, but he's working really hard right now, so please don't interrupt. If you have any questions, I am his manager, so you can come to me, and I will answer any question you may have. Now, then, let's just make a nice line over here, guys, yes? And I will gladly answer for it.
They were suddenly a little bit irked by being like shepherded around and having to like obey these rules, but because they're so curious about Jivkos, they kind of do. And and like the first question that Valmartia
Yes?
get is
Miss Mafia, please.
how much
It's Miss Mafia.
Oh, wow. The first question you get is, how much does it cost to rent him?
Well, he's not really for sale, you see. He's his own sort of undead cowman, so we don't really want to infringe on his right that much.
You're a
But
tough negotiator, I like that about you. Okay, but what about 2 gold pieces?
I'll think about it, but you'd like to see me in action really soon. As soon as we are finished, he needs to concentrate. It's his free time before he does what he does. You know, being an undead cowman is not really natural. You have to work really hard for it. You have to concentrate. You have to be you need to have some quality time with yourself. You know what I mean? You know, and.
Wait, so you're saying that he's like a traveling performer? Are you like a talent recruiter? Did you find him? What can he do?
Yes. Oh, yes, he is very, very strong. Like the beefiest of beef that ever undeaded. So he can lift a door over his shoulders. He can lift me over his shoulders with just one hand.
Wait.
He can do so much things.
Okay.
He can roar, and you can hear him from one side of Barovia Valley to the next one side of Barovia Valley.
The
If you
whole
need fast communication, If you
crowd
ever-
responds with this.
God.
They're gonna start asking, when is the performance? When do we need to be back? Which circle of wagons is this gonna happen at? You know.
Yes, of course. We will need to set up a bit. We need to do something else. This is a quality performance, and it is sponsored by very, very, very kind. You know, it is sponsored by Lady Illyria Furthermore herself.
Another gasp.
The one who's
And they all kind of agree. Yes, of course. We heard about Lady Lear and have generous and fair and awesome she is. Yes. Of course. There's a woman who holds kind of her hand and like she shouts like, I'm a professional kind of stage designer. I can start getting working on a stage like right now.
That would be lovely, but unfortunately enough, the work, the content of stuff of our performance is such a confidential thing. We only do it once. We only make one performance once. It is a once in a lifetime performance, or once in an undead lifetime performance. So we have to keep it secret, right? You're all right now privy to secrets. Not unveiled by any man before.
Yeah, guys, I've heard this spiel before. They're not prepared. They haven't really practiced. This is a normal tactic to kind of like hide how insecure they are. It's not gonna be as great as we think, but okay, I see the game that you're playing. I respect. We shall see when it finally comes to pass. Then, huh?
When it comes to pass, your mind will be positively blown. You just wait, sir. You just wait.
And this is kind of what continues going on. Like Vistani kind of like then kind of leave and like okay, something like is gonna happen. And
As
Vistani
she's
come.
speaking, she's going to try and lead them a bit away from give them the.
But here and there, but here and there, Vistani kind of come and kind of like run towards Jibkos and kind of get stopped by you, Hamartia, talking about the performing undead cow
Yes.
act that they're so excited to see, and so it's spreading.
You've got will have tried to correct them to Minotaur, but probably not worked.
Actually, one thing that Hamartia will, Vismartia, I can say, well, we do have a little bit of a play. See, this is not a solo act. We have the most magnificent moth you've ever seen, and she will send out carrot chopping with flying through the air.
Yeah, that will also help to distract the crowd for sure. For sure, they will be delighted of the dancing. What they think is dancing, but it's actually like going through deadly katas. But actually, hearing you correct them to say like Minotaur, they actually do correct themselves because they think Minotaur sounds more exotic. So they get with it. They get with it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. What happens inside of the wagon?
Guessing Nyx is somewhat distracted a little bit with like the conversations going outside and like, what the hell? I leave me alone for 5 minutes and now there's a performance?
It's all Hamartia's fault.
Your tumor takes a little bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, his attunement. Yeah, first he has to identify, then he has to attune. So it's more. He's just doing all of that stuff. As he identifies, he pulls out his book and like sees if there's any passages on like some memories, perhaps, that he had of watching Madame Eva do it and understand it a bit more. And that will take 11 minutes, and then...
I didn't mean to make them that they had to be attuned, so I removed that in the heading. You don't need to attune to them. You just need to know what they do.
And okay, so he will identify it for 11 minutes, and then he's going to attempt something.
Yes. Shuffling through the somewhat cartoonish, macabre, yet sturdy cards imbues with a peculiar feeling. In the beginning, it's hard to put your finger on it, so you chase its meaning. You withdraw within yourself and within your world, where only you and the cards remain. The enlightenment during the identify spell is gradual, and it comes first in swelling feelings and then in visions. A growing turquoise filter strengthens kind of in the corner of your vision, and you're struck by the sudden instinctive knowledge that in your hands is a great tool of knowledge, truth, and divination. It makes your mouth dry as temptation and desire spreads within your mind. A great rush of possibility, of power with these cards by your side. And so you dive in. And suddenly your vision is just fully tinted in turquoise, and then normal colors come back, and you find yourself in Madame Eva's tent before it was destroyed. You see her card reading table before you, but the hands that deal the cards are not yours. They're red and feminine. You're not in control, but you're not worried. This is what's supposed to happen. Then you and Eva flip one card after the other, and your voices mingle and become one as Madame Eva imbues you with the basic knowledge of the Taraka and each of the cards, making that knowledge intrinsically yours, as if you've always known it. Then you see someone in the chair before you as Madame Eva lifts her head. A young Vistana, an old Vistana, a female, a male, a kind one, a talented one, a troubled one, a dear one, a distant one. Their faces flash and flicker as does untold number of readings. The augury, the contemplation, the characterization, the cross. You come to know them by heart. But the tales of truth that Eva spins with endless combination of cards, and how she comes to different conclusions even when the combination is the same, puzzles you. And so you sink deeper to a more intimate and older memory of supple and young red hands stained with paint, of the sensation of thick paper in her hands, in your hands, of a mind almost drunk in a trance, swimming with thoughts of the known, the unknown, of the past, the present, the future, and the intangible possibilities. And a comfort of the steadfast friendship of an intense yet passionate vampire prince and the wise and masterful water genasi mentor. Bubbling to the surface within this mind adrift on the sea of the cosmos and time is a picture of a man in chains before a burning town. As the brushstroke stains the paper, the meaning of change, growth, and the antithesis of stagnancy bubbles to the surface with it. And you know that card, as if you made it yourself. Next, she paints a priest holding a sacred book, heralding a new wisdom, a new teaching, a new idea, a teaching aiming to better the life of others if they would listen or not. And you know the card as if you made it yourself. The vision changes back to Eva's tent, her chair, her table, her readings, her red tiefling arms that deal the cards. They sag, mar, and crease as her great age starts to take physical hold. A shake sets in. A trouble within the mind. A weight descends upon shoulders. This power, this truth, the endless possibilities of futures begins to take its toll. Exhaustion becomes a constant companion, nagging worry and anxiety its friends. A warning she gives. A warning I give. Nix, these artifacts are the least that I can give you for all my wrongdoings. A great tool they are, yes, powerful indeed, but it's not without its consequences. Use them wisely, and only if you dare. And you pulled out by the vision by a sudden burst of laughter from a tiefling poking at Jibkos outside of the wagon. And your breath comes quick. You're a bit dizzy. That was strange. You were Eva, and Eva was you. And Eva talked as if she was here, or was it the future you giving yourself a message? Nonetheless, when you calm, you know how to wield these cards.
Nyx's brow furrows as he looks down at the deck of cards that he now knows to be his, but also that of Eva's, the one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
He stares down and has a look on his face of contemplation, of weighing up the options. And he says, quietly, under his breath, by the bonds I've made, by the people that I hold dear to my heart, I accept the risks for knowing some glimpses of how we can survive this. And he closes his eyes and thinks of Eva, and he has these memory flashes of her, like, in rare instances of smiling or watching Nyx. And he has these very calming emotions coupled with it. A single tear will creep down his cheek as a small smile appears over his face and says, I know you'll be with me. Show me now. And he holds the deck of cards to his chest and thinks of a question that he must ask for the deck to reveal some form of information, perhaps. And he says out loud, what must I sacrifice to free these Vistani from the mists and ensure their survival? And he will draw a card from the deck, and put it down as he uses the cross part of the deck to perform his first reading.
All right.
Drum roll.
Damn. What must I sacrifice?
So it's the center card first, right?
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Which represents the past. The first one, no, sorry.
The present.
The
Represents the
focus of the reader.
subject.
Yes.
Yeah, the subject of the matter, right? Yeah.
Yes. So let's start. I was a little bit thrown for a loop because I didn't know if you're gonna, go in that direction. But the beginning of what I've prepared still stands. Okay. So holding a hand over the deck, kind of shuffling them out on the table, just hovering above all the possibilities of cards you instinctively draw, and put face up, not reversed.
Traitor.
Or 9 of glyphs. And of course, you can certainly try to discuss these cards and the readings out of character, also using Weibo and Cookie to help you. So if you want to read their meaning aloud, these cards, you certainly may. What you have discovered.
So from a card from the glyphs, the deck of the glyph suit, symbolizes. Well, they all kind of symbolize various things, but generally they symbolize faith, spirituality, and inner strength. Suited thought of leaders, philosophers, advisors, priests, and those who devote themselves to the service of a deity, an ideal, a higher power, or heightened philosophy. On the side of good, it represents willpower and dedication. On the side of evil, it signifies weakness of the character, self-doubt, and betrayal. It can also symbolize health and healing, as well as illness and disease. It is also a point of importance to know that this is one of Nyx's cards. This was one of the 3 cards that Eva pulled for him, representing Nyx and his journey. So in the... where is it for the party's card? Oh, there it is. Okay, so under...
Traitor, you trust in your haven is becoming corrupted and cold, and in turn you betray and stray.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. So I came to Nyx's information. I imagine this is specific about the Vestani as a whole, as the subject matter. It has to be, really, because it's about people, leaders and philosophers, and I imagine that's what it references.
All right. Ready for card 2?
Yeah, I will pull to the left as the card of the past.
Indeed.
Oh shit.
And hovering over the cards, choosing the one that just feels right, is reversed. The Diviner. 2 of stars.
Truth and honesty. I kind of feel like this is Eva. But what is the reverse part again? I don't think I read something about reverse.
It's some kind of subversion of the of the cards meeting. If you've unlocked,
Oh, yeah, it's the reverse of what it is, right?
yeah, or in some way reverse. It doesn't have to be the direct, like antithesis to it, but some kind of subversion of the original meeting.
So, because it's in the past, the person who... So, diviner is truth and honesty as a basic, but it's inverted, so it's lies and deceit. In the past, when it came to the Vistani and Nyx, he was lied to about who he is by the Vistani. Even Madame Eva didn't tell him the truth. And to the Vistani as a whole, the Strahd lied to everyone. That's nothing new. Specifically, that is understood. That is exactly where he is. And what the fate of the past of the people of Barovia have suffered. If the subject of the matter is the Vistani and the people and Nyx, perhaps. Everyone's been lied to. So he will pull to the upper card, the present card. Something has happened or is happening or will happen very soon.
For sure. And the one that is revealed unreversed is 6 of glyphs.
Was also given the Anarchist. A test for Nyx. And you'll remember Madame Eva's messaging about it and say that the mist will offer you comfort and grant what you've longed for your whole life if you would reject the white veil of safety and path with the Anarchist. Hardships lie in the path but may ultimately lead to a great and fundamental change, as long as he doesn't give in to laziness. So, more specifically, when it came to dealing with the present, the deck are referring to Nyx more specifically, as per in line with his question of what must he sacrifice.
Yes, indeed.
Therefore, he will pull the future card to the right. The big card, perhaps, about what kind of course of action or consequences that could potentially come from that. And potentially the most uncertain and worthy of conversation. Where other people's active wills may disturb the future card's purity and even render the future completely false, depending on what we choose to do.
Indeed. Yeah, I do believe it will be that card. So, the card for the future, the right card, will be One of Swords.
Not that I know you choose swords. Swords symbolize aggression and violence. It's a suit of warriors, be they paladins, soldiers, mercenaries, or gladiators, symbolizes power, authority, and dominion. Therefore, also represents governments and leaders, whether noble or corrupt. It's not inverted. Therefore, the one of swords is the Avenger, justice and revenge for great wrongs.
I wonder.
Nyx like pulls that card, and knowing that this card is going to be the one that potentially could be the most obscure, he holds his breath as he stares at it on the deck. And he says to Eva, the memory of Eva, as if Eva's sitting opposite and saying, "A little on the fucking nose, Eva."
Also, remember the understanding the cards. You may attempt to, for another level of exhaustion, try to understand some of these cards as well, like to get the deeper meaning unlocked. Because if you look at the Anarchist and the Missionary.
Well, we have one card to pull first.
Yes, I know. I'm stalling a little bit for for the effect.
Okay. Show me the journey card. The card of how to get there.
Yeah.
How to get from present to future.
And you'll pull 4 of stars. Yeah, pure.
And it's not inverted, therefore reevaluation, caution, and deduction. Stars cards for reminder they symbolize general desire for power control over things beyond the ken of mortals. It's a suit of mages, sages, and intellectuals. It also represents the triumph of magic, science, and reason over religion, mysticism, and superstition. I don't know about you guys, but this kind of reads to me that the people and Nyx was lied to, but Nyx has to be involved with the current present to be a part of the justice of from the question perspective. Let's not forget what must Nyx sacrifice to free the Vistani, and that is he shouldn't be lazy and get involved, and using logic deduction leads the people away from the mist somehow. The reading here basically suggests that Nyx should be a part of the political process that's going on in the Vistani camp and win the vote of the people to be an agent of change, the anarchist of the system. What do you guys think?
I would say so. Like, agreed, basically.
I think I can't think of a better explanation, so I think I'll go. Okay.
So I can choose to. What's this? Meditation for 10, blah blah blah. With Fortuna Magna cards, you may choose which ABS to pair with. Oh,
Abilities
the
card.
cards. Abilities cards to pair with. If you fail a check to discern deeper meaning of the cards and suffer a level of exhaustion. So it's a DV14
Mm-hmm.
empathy.
Mm-hmm.
What is the plus?
It depends upon which suit the card belongs to that you want to learn more about.
Right.
So up here.
So-
Yeah. So if you would, if you want to learn a sword card, it would be empathy resolve. If it's stars, is
Right.
empathy cunning. If it's coins, is composure. And if it's glyphs, is intelligence. And if you do a Fortuna Magna, you get to choose between the four.
And if I fail, I get exhaustion. But given right now we're just collecting information and potentially sleep, there isn't really too much risk about it if we want to learn deeper understanding of a specific card. Now, the reason why we might want to do this is because once we learn the understanding of a single card, using it in the future means that we get a better understanding of the reading more specifically. If it has been used before and Nyx has done a check on trying to understand what that is.
Yeah,
Right.
so for example, Madame Eva during division gave you 2 cards, so she unlocked the deeper meaning for you immediately, as if you were there during the creation of them, which is the Anarchist and the Missionary. And as you can see, that there's more information about what the card means, and also what the reversed version means, what it signifies. Also pay in mind you've already, by doing this cross, spent a level exhaustion.
Ooh.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah, first level's not bad, not great. Second level's bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. But I suppose also recovery is difficult for 2 days worth. So I think for the first reading, given that it feels like the reading is somewhat clearish,
I will
don't
also
think
point
you need-
out, if you do manage to unlock all of the cards, if you go for that, the cards will
gotta catch 'em all.
the cards will speak to you some additional knowledge.
The heart of the cards.
Nice.
yeah, we're going to be here a couple of days here. What do you think? Should Nyx get exhausted? A chance to fail and become 2 levels exhausted? Because it's only speed, right? Second level? Or is it...
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I think, or is it weight?
Exhaustion is like... The first one is... disadvantage on ability checks, and the second one is speed
Yeah.
halved. He
Which
doesn't
is
need...
honestly one of the worst ones, yeah.
Well,
yeah, so
in
disadvantage
combat
of
it
like
is,
10
but we're
speed
not
halved.
going to be... Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're not going to be in combat. So he's already got 1 level of exhaustion.
You sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Well, Nyx has... Does he need to move that far?
I'd say speed halved.
I mean, that's half your speed.
Yeah.
Really?
There is also evening right now. So if you
So-
fail once, you can stop, which means that tomorrow you either
Yeah.
will have no exhaustion
I think it's worth it.
or a
Yeah,
level
Yeah, but
exhaustion.
like disadvantage on ability checks. And do we have? No, I'm not sure if we still have a. Oh, we do. We still have 1 water vial to remove exhaustion, 1 level exhaustion.
Oh,
That would only be if we really need to like get you fucking going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Like
Yeah.
drugs.
Drugs.
yeah.
Pump
So
him
I
up.
don't think if it's gonna be basically we're gonna sleep after this. I don't think there's really
fucking we
much
ball.
risk.
Yeah.
I think like we go. See, Nyx can also guide himself, I suppose. So I think there's very little risk in doing this and more to gain from it.
Fuck it, we
Okay.
ball.
Roll the die.
So it's a question of which card. So he already has Anarchist.
Yes. That's the missionary, but the missionary isn't part of this. But the missionary is a card you've been drawing a lot recently, so it could be interesting to just reading that.
And that's a fair point. So Nick's so coin. Wait, missionary is a Fortuna Magna.
No,
No,
missionary is 2 glyphs. It's still in the suit of the priest.
Okay. So the advance, so that is the two glyphs indicate that those who spread the teaching of their gods, the wisdom of their experience, or the brilliance of their philosophy, in its positive aspect, these teachings bring enlightenment and wisdom. Sadly, in the realms of Ravenloft, this card is most often in its negative aspect, spreading ignorance and fear. Reversed, this card represents someone who spreads ignorance, fear, or hopelessness. So, yeah, spreading that. Drawing the missionary card for Nyx is basically the future saying, hey, you've learned a lot. Why keep it to yourself when other people can benefit from it?
And what Eva said to you, for her future card in the back, because her 3, she did who you've been, who you currently are, or struggling with, or like the journey that is going to be immediate, and who you can become.
Okay. Well, I don't need to roll for the missionary because we've already got it. But
No, yes, that example.
The saving throws or the checks for resolve for swords, cunning for stars, composure for coins,
nice.
and intellect for glyphs.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck, have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot at the moment. You can choose whichever one we want. It's like it doesn't make any real difference at this point. But so we don't have to do the Anarchist since that's already unlocked, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. So I think it's either. I mean, the Diviner is the most ambiguous here. Like, who could? I mean, Diviner is like someone who can see the future, or no, Diviner to us is truth and honesty, right? But inverted, it's lies and betrayal. So I think from Nyx's perspective, that is the most ambiguous and potentially could offer the most insight, I suppose. What do you guys think?
I think that's hella correct. Yeah, like that is the most ambiguous one, and the one that is also like, I think has the most could have the most influence.
Yeah, and used in other people's. Like, if we want to read the future in the future, we want to know if we're being lied to or if it's being the truth, right?
Yeah.
Like, but that's just the basics of what the Diviner card does. But it could be more advanced stuff as part of the Diviner that we could read into to make the reading more accurate.
Okay.
Okay, so Diviner is stars,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be a empathy, cunning.
Yes. DV14.
Plus the cunning, right?
Yes. Empathy, cunning.
Okay. And he will use guidance, obviously. Empathy, cunning isn't that high, or plus 2.
Only a +2. Yeah.
Stars. The suit of wizards, of intellectuals, and fire.
Nerds.
Actually, it's 0.5. Yeah, it's 2. Plus 1d4. Give me exhausted. 17.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Let's go to the card.
Learn me some cards.
Learn me some stuff.
All right, updated.
2 cards symbolize a solid understanding of consequence and meticulous preparation. Science, the healing arts, and benevolent magic are all a part, as well as honesty and truth. This card represents those who seek vital knowledge for the benefit of all. Unlike most Tarot cards, even in reverse, this card indicates something positive, compassionate deception, such as protected by. That's a good thing that we rolled on that. So it's not about lies and deceit. It's more about, hiding information for the betterment of Nyx. So for lack of a better way of explaining it, Nyx was kept in the dark on purpose.
Gasp.
Yeah.
Lied to for the benefit of his future. Okay, means we get to roll again.
Okay, roll the die. Which one?
Which one? So we've got Traitor is Nyx's card, but wait, I thought Nyx already had unlocked the Traitor.
Yes, you have.
Okay, so you got Avenger or Abjure. Either could be. The Avenger is the future. Abjure is like the journey and how to get there.
And did you? No, the Anarchist. The Anarchist you have already unlocked, not the Traitor.
The Traitor is one of Nyx's cards.
Yes, that's Madame Eva's little spin on it, like what she saw in the card when she held the reading at that point.
Specific about.
But if you want to learn about the card in general, you can roll.
So it's glyphs.
Intelligence.
Betrayal by someone trusted or adored. Okay. Do you think Traitor then?
I don't think anything, but you guys
No, I'm not
decide.
talking to you.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Quiet, you.
Quiet, God.
This is glyphs, right? So you'll be intelligence.
Yeah.
Just raw intelligence.
Empathy plus intelligence.
All of
Okay,
these are
so-
empathy.
Yes.
Empathy, but-
Empathy is
yeah,
a
but-
skill, and then you change ability score depending upon
Okay.
suit.
Let's do that. Okay, we'll do the Traitor. It's only a plus 1, plus D4. I got tired.
This is all still a little bit new to you, and the rush of the diviner, and then looking at the Traitor, and all of these personal story and history and memories, it gets a bit overwhelming. And the same shake that Madame Eva had, you get.
Nyx will put the cards together. Somewhat sweaty from the exhaustion and the effort it took to delve into his past and what's Eva in his head, and put them back in the deck, and he'll come out of the wagon.
I think the amount of time that you spent inside of there with the cards have been enough of time for Chipkos to return.
Yay.
So you step outside and you see Valley. What did it say? Valmartia? But you know what? Before that, let's go for a quick break, and then continue an hour more. Does people have time for that?
I got time for it.
Yeah, I have to go at 12 a.m. Sharp.
So that's in an hour for
in a-
you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just refill drinks. I need to refill my drink, and let's get back to it. Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Epic.
Let's go.
Let me adjust the ambience levels. It's very important for the immersion.
So very important.
That's a good reading, Adrian. It's pretty spot on, but could have been more. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, Adrian.
I mean, the dice gods will what they
You
want.
mean the card gods?
Well, Nyx's energy gods, I suppose. Like,
Bit
"Oh, this
tired.
is hard. Oh.
My god, I'm so tired. Oh,
What's wrong with these cards? Why do they make me so sweaty?
it's not me, it's the cards.
Sure. I can quit anytime, guys.
Fuck's sake, he's addicted to the cards.
Just one more card. Just one
Just
more.
one more card. It just fucking dies from exhaustion.
I'm good for it. Yeah, like on his 5th
good for
level of
it.
exhaustion. I don't
Yeah.
need to move to read these cards.
Just like somebody has to take his arm and do it for him.
The speed reduced to 0 doesn't mean that he can't move his arms. So it just means he can't move. That's why Eva was sitting all the time.
She was secretly always at max exhaustion.
Indeed. And I don't know if you've seen the D&D 2024 rules changes since.
It's in a bit, but I never want to use it because it's fucking expensive.
Well, in there is a rewrite of the exhaustion rules. So you don't actually have specific levels that mean individual things. Hold on, I'll bring it out here.
Whoa, bringing it out.
Bringing it out here.
Alright.
Rules 2024. Which is actually it works better actually in 2024, in my opinion. It's a good rewrite. So when it comes to
I'm back.
exhaustion in 2024, is that while you just get the exhausted condition, right? And the condition is cumulative to 1 to 6, right? And each time you receive it, you gain 1 exhaustion level, and you die if you get to level 6. That is still true, right? But when you are exhausted, all D20 rolls, no matter what they are, the roll is reduced by 2 times your exhaustion level.
Oh god.
Speed is reduced by a number of feet equal to 5 times your exhaustion level.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, so you are all. So if you're exhausted, you're all. It's gonna be hard to do stuff, and you're gonna be slow, no matter what level that you're on.
So basically,
Which-
it's easier to be slightly exhausted, but much worse to be more exhausted. Yeah.
well, it also means that people don't have to metagame exhaustion. It means that no matter what you do, the
It's a
understanding of what exhaustion is, you're gonna be slow because you're exhausted. You're gonna have a foggy brain because you're exhausted, and that makes much more sense to me
Your
rather than.
going to be tired and.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that. I can
And
definitely see
it's more of like a scaling of the difficulty of rolling dice and the scaling of how fast you can move. And then if you reach number 6, then you die from exhaustion. Which I think is easier to keep track of because you don't have to worry. Okay, what's level 4 again? What's level 5 again? You just say like it's just D20s are 2 times your exhaustion level, and speed is 5 feet times your exhaustion level.
Yeah. Nearby.
Who needs levels? Because I was always kind of like not
feel
really
a
on
little bit
board
Yeah, they feel a little
of
bit.
like you're slightly exhausted, but you can still run at full speed. It's like surely it should be the other way around.
I can see. Yeah, it's a little bit of what is random, I guess, what they do. The levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I prefer this.
Definitely look into it. Cookie, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. All right, let's get back into it, shall we?
Let's
What
get
you
down
been
to
doing out
business.
there, guys?
Oh my
Defeat the
Oh
Vistani.
God, yes. Let
Yeah.
me get into mine.
Nix, why are you so tired?
Okay, guys. All right, focus up. Okay. All right. Okay.
Accent's gonna
Get your shit together, okay? What do you guys what does Nick step out to see?
Well, okay, it's been a while since Nyx has been in this wagon by himself, and in the past, when Nyx stepped out of a wagon in which he was in there by himself, all sweaty like, it was a completely different reason.
Was it the back at Valaki encampment? Right? Yeah.
He was by himself. No, he was with Illyria then, I think.
Even worse.
No, that was up at the Abbey.
No, I know, but
No?
yeah, so he wasn't with Illyria at that point. Yeah, the Abbey is when the connection was made. The massage was happening.
On the same table.
So Nyx comes out and he's got sweat on his brow. His hair is slightly slicker. His cheeks are a little rosier, as he seems to be very exhausted. And he looks, he like props himself up against the wagon as he takes the steps down. That was an experience that I didn't expect. But I think I got a grasp of how these things work. And I have a newfound respect for the amount of energy Eva had. It seems if my first reading is going to be accurate, or at least partially accurate, it is told that if we want to get anything, I must be a part of what is happening here and now, despite my personal feelings.
So you mean to stay then?
No. We must stay for Eva's funeral, which is in, I think, 2 days. And in that time, I will have to be a part of this infernal Vistani political selection process and do everything I can without violence, without resorting to bending the rules, play it as it comes, and put myself in the spotlight of all Vistani here, and have my weaknesses, my past transgressions, the things that everybody hates about me, thrust into the light. Should we do that? And we do it by the books. There is a chance that they will listen to me. The chance that we can break the cycle. If we want the people behind what we are going to do, if we are going to commit regicide, it doesn't matter a single bit if we do. If the people straight up revolt against our actions and we have to defeat an army, should we even manage to defeat Strahd? To make Barovia truly free, the people have to be behind this movement too. Cannot just be us.
Do you think we can convince these people? No shenanigans, no lies. I don't have good experience with stunning myself.
No, that's true, but you have the best mind for spotting tricks, spotting subversions, deceptions. You're an expert at that, Amatia. And if you can find out if anyone else is trying to do this, it will give us somewhat of an edge to expect the filthy backstabbings or whatnot. And if you can be advocates for me. And
Listen,
try and
I'll
sway
see.
people.
I will see what this image of mine can do. But if you're looking for honesty, that means I have to be honest as well, and we all have to be honest. And
No. We don't have to
Arigal
necessarily like. We don't need to be like super clean, super white. I mean, Vistani are never like that anyway. They don't mind a little bit of stickiness, but we have to play it by the rules that are set by the Vistani themselves. Otherwise, they won't treat my involvement in this as legitimate. They will just say, well, who the fuck is this guy? He's not playing by everyone else's rules. But the problem is that everyone does, I think, everyone does whatever they can to get an edge. They play a game of deception, of turning people's ears. And we need to do that too. Within the boundaries of the rules.
I then will see what this image of mine can do then. But just so you know, if we are speaking strategically, Arigal has a lot of dirt on me since he knows who I am. I don't think he recognizes this image, this illusion of mine, but should it be known that you're consulting with Amatia, that would put quite a blemish on you. They
Maybe
know
you should come clean about who you are to at least me. Or to us as a whole. Maybe not now, maybe later, when people are more paired off and sleeping off the effects of the festivities.
It's nothing you're not aware of. It's just my party. My mother's operations.
Well, I can deal with that. That's no problem. I just need to know if there's any other secrets that could potentially be worked against me. And if we can do our best in the time that it takes to wander around, speak to others, or listen in to conversations being had, and try and sow some sort of interest that it doesn't have to be the way that it's always been. It doesn't have to be holding the status quo or independence but with a crutch. There's another way. True freedom can happen. We just have to get them to listen to me. And
I fear that may be the hardest part.
everyone has a chance if they accept my throwing my name into the ring. That's the hardest part first, I think. If everyone can allow me to run.
Is that not what we should find first? Whether you are
Yes.
and
Well, every Vestani is, I believe, any Vestani can just put their name in the ring, but I'm dealing with Aragal, Luvash, and the Elders. Now, Aragal, pretty sure he fucking hates my guts. Luvash, we collectively discovered the fate of his daughter, and it was tragic, and I'd rather not think upon it, if I'm honest. But kinda owes us, at least. Owes us enough to listen. The eldest, well, I kinda said some bad things in the Ravenloft Castle Ball.
well, if they attempt to pull age, then well assured, I don't think they are the oldest ones here.
Age makes no difference. Really, it doesn't.
Some people like to claim it does, but I agree.
I'm sure they might pull that as the fact that I am younger than them. And I have thought about some things that they could, say. But to prepare you all, and he says to Illyria, looks to Illyria specifically.
Oh, Illyria and Arius are off gathering in
Okay, okay. Then
Yeah,
I'll look to them both. I'll say like,
Mm.
you may hear some things about me that I hope don't change your mind about who I am. I have gone on quite a journey of transformation since knowing you all. But people have...
We all come from a bit of a shady background, you know. I don't think any of us was a better man before being with each other, so don't beat yourself too hard on that.
I think we all have had our fair share of dirt and blood.
Okay. Well, it took quite a lot out of me to read these cards. But I think this is the right action, even though I don't like it. I will do my best. These cards that Eva gave me, they have significance. It's not just a deck of cards, these are the cards that have told the future of the Vestanis for hundreds of years. It's even possible, Chief Coast, that you might know of their origins. Or they might even be preceding you. But the Vestani have looked to the person who can wield these cards. And to Madame Yvette in that regard.
I have just think fun ideas. You know how yeah, you know, there was a bit of an incident whilst you were being hardy and seeing the future, and I may or may not have fabricated a theater show starring Jivkos as the main attraction.
Jivkos is just rubbing his forehead.
Right.
You know, as one accidentally does, I just tried to get some attention out of him, and now we have
a show with wildlife and undead minotaurs on our head. But
Actually, Hamatir, I don't see that as a bad thing. If it's distracting
yes.
people
but
and
maybe
giving us
maybe
publicity.
yes, I thought maybe we can do a little show. Have all of us do a little circus. I can do lots of pretty things that your people will absolutely adore. But mayhap we may be able to display your powers as well, your abilities to lead, as you say.
My ability is to lead.
If
Wish I knew what those are.
Well, if it comes to it, maybe we can see. I don't know how you read these cards. Is it like a spectacular thing? Can we make a spectacle out of it? Can we make it something what people in the town will talk about in the gang?
Maybe, but I mean, it's pulling cards from a deck and putting them in order and then trying to interpret them. It's not exactly fireworks or illusions. If you can think of a way to make it more interesting, then maybe. But it does take a lot out of me.
I see. But what more can convince Vajristani to trust the display of your magical prowess? After all, you're a very powerful sorcerer, if I say so myself.
Potentially, I mean, a show of strength of what I can do and lead from the front, or demonstrate that I have some abilities. Yeah, for sure. I could potentially do this.
Maybe we can do like a little thing with Jivkos. Maybe, Tracy, which is me, I'll be a little bit, not a little bit less careful than I should with Jivkos, and Jivkos maybe would go out of control, and then you would use your holy power to stop him, and the crowd will cheer. Maybe a little display, little show.
I think
I do not like the sound of that.
I think a better idea. I mean, that's a good idea, but maybe. I mean, the people here love a story,
Indeed.
and you do so well in puppetry and putting on a show that tells the story. People here haven't been aware of what we've been up to. Why they should even know who we are or who I am by proxy. I think a better idea here would be, sure, Jivkos can do some things, but I think you should be the main attraction here, Hamatir. You tell the story of what it is we've been doing and showcase why I have grown to become someone that is worthy of their thought to be their leader.
Oh, so maybe we can put up a play, like an actual honest to Morning Lord play, full play, with actors and sets and effects.
I mean, if you can do that all in a few hours, then you'll be impressing even me.
I mean, we have like a day, right? And the Vistani are really theatrical people.
Right. I
And
would say theatrical as much as they drink, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, you're a theatrical guy.
Yes, they love tales of adventure and like tales that can take them away from the mists. Like they throw in some sordid, sexual nature stuff there to really get their bloods boiling. Some sort of story of love and romance, and build it up. But
I'm going to make a story about you and Illyria. You're going to be the heroes. You're going to be heroes.
No. This is not about me and Illyria. This is about us as a whole. This is our journey.
Yes.
I'm a part of
I'll
it.
make the whole journey. I'm going to tell the journey. I'm going to do like a like a compilation. It's gonna be a 3-act stories about redemption, about the saga against the Ham. Oh, I'm going to make a play out of killing my mother. Yes, it's gonna be great. You'll be a fucking hero next.
Your conversation is halted as your attention is drawn to a group of Stani coming down a winding path far to your left, because they immediately stand out like a sore thumb. The 4 individuals are dressed in heavier armor than any other tiefling you've seen so far. Vistani doesn't have access to much metal. Despite this, they have managed to cobble together enough material to act as medium armor protection. They openly display 1 melee and 1 ranged weapon that attach to their hips and backs, and they all wear a light blue sash tied around their left bicep. It's the closest thing you've ever seen a Vistana dress in, as in a uniform. Otherwise, they always desire individuality. What's also strange in the manner of which they are walking and behaving, like they are marching, with some form of discipline. They stop at that 4-way intersection between different groups of Vistani wagon circles. They huddle together for a quick word, and then 3 of them branch off and head towards respective closest gathering of groups of Vistani, and they insert themselves within them, joining their conversations. The reactions of the other Vistani at their approach is a clear picture of wariness coupled with gratefulness. The last one, which turns to walk in your direction, recognizes your group and starts heading towards you with purpose.
Do I recognize them?
him?
No, these are not people that you recognize.
What do you mean non-fair people?
I sort of like look around to see if we're being like surrounded. Like I check our perimeters, make sure that this is not like some sort of slay the bastard kind of situation.
For sure, yeah. The way she's walking is a little bit intimidating. Yeah, give me, give me a perception intelligence with disadvantage.
Keep lowest one. Wow.
Oh.
Not 20 and a
Damn.
15, so 18.
Despite being exhausted, you're like,
I am on edge.
you're on edge, indeed. Your survival instinct is still high. Yeah. No. You mostly been left behind by the group of... They're kind of like... There are a few Vistani that kind of like stand around pretending not to look at Jibkos, but they're actually looking at Jibkos. But they've been like pushed to periphery because they've been kind of becalmed with the knowledge that there is going to be a performance. They're just staying close by in case the performance starts now.
Right. The hype
That's
is
it.
real.
The hype is real. For sure. They're probably going to stalk until it happens because no time was put forward, no place. And they're so curious that they're willing to
It
stalk.
could be right now.
Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
right now, guys.
But, you know, they've been shooed away, so they're kind of like standing outside of hearing distance, but they're not outside of vision distance. So to say. But they don't seem like, you know, angry in that sense, no.
Okay. I said to Hamatia, look, it seems like your ability to spin a tale has affected the people even now.
Ah, I have an idea. Give me 1 day's time, and this is going to be the most beautiful retelling of your story and our story together. You let see.
I have faith in you, Hamatia, as long as we recognize that the core message has to be one that shows me in a light that is... I fucked up, sure, when I was younger. But things are different now.
I am
I'd learn
The
it.
woman comes into hearing distance and speaking distance.
I am going to do something. Tale of blood and redemption. It's going to be mad.
I raise my voice a little bit and say, well, you wouldn't be the most well-known storyteller and playwright in all of the lands outside of the myths. If you can't do it, no one can.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I just love being with you, Vistani, you know? Just bringing my own flavor.
This chocolate-colored tiefling woman before you is quite short, but brawny. She seems to be in her prime, with short, curly hair nestled in between two equally short horns that protrude from her forehead. And you can easily code it demeanor to be quite serious, and her quite severe-looking face paint, or tattoo, of two dark crimson streams of tears falling from her eyes, lends her quite the grim aura. And there is like a look on her face of like, have you recognized that I'm here and I'm walking up to speak to you yet? Or have you finished speaking? Like, that's on her face of like, hello, I'm here.
Nyx makes it abundantly clear with a flourish of his jacket that they are done conversing.
Escort of Lady Lyra Fedemore, Brother Nyx, and friends. She eyes Jibkos with a long stare, sizing him up.
He stares back.
She squints her eyes at, at you. Something about you seems to displease her, and she looks to Valmardia with a look of like, I don't know who you are, but you don't impress me. Nonetheless,
My name is... Oh, never mind.
she continues and talks over you. The news of your arrival have spread among the brothers and sisters to Cap's ears. Captain Luvash invites you to dinner at his campfire. I can escort you there now. What is your answer?
I mean, who are we to decline an invitation to sit with Brother Luvash, who we have had recent conversations with? So, when would he like us to visit his campfire?
An admirable answer, Brother Nyx. He was quite eager to speak to you as soon as possible when he heard of your arrival. So if now is possible, I will take you there.
I don't see why not. Might need to collect Illyria on the way. She's around here somewhere.
If that's what you wish, then we shall. Keep up. And she starts storming off.
Okay, we keep up, and I say to Jivkos, hey, you're the tallest here. If you can spot the only redhead here, well, one of the very few redhead here, then shout out.
I shall.
She goes back to her people first, and she like barks, like almost commands to them, of like fan out and search for Lady Lyra and bring them to her. And they give this like nod of respect at these orders, and they go. Which wouldn't sound so, I make these sound like, impressive. This could have been normal behavior for, about anybody, but it's a little bit new for Nyx.
What's new for Nyx?
This discipline, like
Oh,
chain of command.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Chain of command in the Vistani? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
How does it?
The only chain of command is a sexual move.
Exactly.
How does
Oh,
it
it-
measure up to, like the Order of the Silver Dragons just discipline? I assume nothing alike.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's certainly not as, like, evolved, I guess, but not necessarily like a value statement there. Like,
Yeah.
discipline and chain of command is just, a category, a thing. Depending upon how complex in it, doesn't mean it's better than, like, a more simplistic way of doing it. But you do recognize that it's there. So there's certainly like a power hierarchy going on here.
It's an attempt at the very least, yeah.
Yeah. You're led around a little bit in like the central pathways of the camp. She's going quite slowly, like allowing her other people to like run and fan out, so your group doesn't get hard to find. And you certainly get more stares, and there's more comments thrown your way of like, oh, it's actually back. It's snakes. Madame Eva adopted him. It's so strange after all these centuries. Who is that girl with him? I thought him and Illyria was close. Really? But the Count? Yeah, no. Sexy, no? That person is apparently undead, something called a Minotaur, and he's gonna perform later and like throw people above his head or something like that. Those kind of whispers is things you hear as you go past. But it doesn't take long, and Illyria kind of comes up with you with Arius in tow with this younger Vistani male, kind of sandy colored, that was under this chocolate tiefling woman's command, who spotted Illyria and brought her back to you all. And Illyria is looking a little bit uncomfortable, looking between him, you, and her. And she says, everything all right? We're going to meet Luvash?
We don't know.
Why are you sweaty? Nix, what have you done now?
No, what's with the tone? The cards took a lot out of me, I swear.
Sure.
To my knowledge, he has not done anything other such.
And is Pigtails who I think it is?
I think so, yes.
Ah, wow. Nice to see you again. All right. To Luvash's, then?
To Luvash.
Okay. The chocolate woman takes off in faster speeds, heading away from the shore. And as you walk and follow a little bit behind her, Illyria comes up to you to, again, squeeze your hand quickly. And she leans in and says, well, I was interrupted quickly, but it seems like Aragorn has quite a support. Like, almost half of the tieflings of the Vistani that I've met so far spoke for him in favor.
Under what reasons? Just because he led the Velaki Vistani?
There's a lot of talk about, like, money and resources. Prosperity is a word being thrown around about.
Prosperity?
Yeah, that's what they all
Like
coin. Repeat.
funding is a backer?
I don't know. It kind of went surface level. I didn't have that much time. But he's already gathered a lot of support, it seems.
Naturally. I'm playing from behind. But just to catch you up,
Mm-hmm.
I read the cards, and
You
it
managed?
seems like, well, I don't know if I managed as much as, well, I did the thing, but from what I
Didn't
can
know
tell,
it was such a workout. She kind of like brushes some sweat from your forehead.
the cards are heavier than they look. The apparently, these cards tell me that I should be part of this political game, and we must do everything that we can to try and sway the crowd to at least entertain a nomination that I will be a part of this voting process.
Well, okay, but you just swayed me, so how hard can they be?
Well, the Vastani have, how do you say, they've been around. They're more experienced, shall we say. And I have not been the strongest advocate of the Vastani ways. So I have to play from the rear. And it's going to be hard, I'm sure. But if we have to trust the cards that Madame Eva gave to us as our premonitions, and they haven't been wrong yet. If I have read these cards even half accurate, they say that this must be the way.
Well, no matter how well we do, I think it's certainly in our best interest to make sure that Arikal fails.
Let's see what Luvesh has to say. I'm pretty sure that after what happened in the Velaki camp, under Aragal's eye, the death of his daughter probably still has a sour taste in his mouth.
Agreed. Indeed. You continue on your way. The chocolate Vistana leads you southward to the outskirts of the larger Serpol camp, quite close to the path that heads towards the Hanged Man's Crossroad. Luvash's circle sits a bit disconnected from the rest on the apex of a small hill that would allow his camp to somewhat look down upon the other circles below. Here at the edges, 20 or so curious Vistani, not wearing armbands, gather to gawk and observe. Around them are a couple of Luvash's followers with the blue armbands actively talking to them. Pushing on, you see that this circle is shaped more like a loose square, and the wagons are widely spaced out to grant a larger area within their confines. The area has mostly been cleared out of trees and bush quite recently. And it has 5 main areas, 4 for each corner and 1 in the center. The one in the center is the normal Vistani campfire with logs and other sitting arrangements, protected by a hoisted up cloth roof, but sits for now empty. The other areas are quite alien to your perception of Vistani. You observe one corner being a dining area with several roughly hewn benches and tables in neat rows, and a cooking station beside it, where a dozen or so Vistani are currently eating at, all dressed in various form of armor. The second corner is a noisy grid of working stations for wood, leather cloth, and metal craft, where several Vistani can be seen working diligently on more arbands and pieces of arms and armor. The third corner has been completely cleared of the underbrush and instead covered by hard, stamped earth. There, a grid of 10 Vistani dressed in armor with various melee weapons in hand are being trained in drills by a commanding Vistana that directs from the side. The last corner is a dug-out fighting pit, where several Vistani cheer on 2 combatants within that wrestle with each other. The most impressive humanoid shape among the onlookers of the fight dislodges when he spots your approach. Luvash, dressed in armor and a light blue cloak and an eye patch over one of his eyes, greets you with a quick hand wave from afar, and then gestures over to the empty seats around the campfire in the middle.
We go.
Yeah!
Can you post that text
Yeah, for sure.
somewhere? That's a lot of information to retain.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So to reiterate, it sits on a hill at the outskirts, close to the path that would take you to the Hangman's Crossroad. Instead of being like a normal Visani circle, it still has the wagons kind of at the outskirts and the campfire in the middle, but it's way more spaced out and more shaped like a square. And there are in each corner there are some
Like a
new
camp. Like a...
yeah, like a work camp. There are some new activities, like there are like barracks like benches where armored people are eating. There is arms and armor being created, as well as more armbands in kind of like a metalcraft kind of blacksmith kind of corner. There's a fighting pit, and there's drills being run, like training Vistani to fight in a unit.
Got it.
But Luvash, was watching the fight in the fighting pit, stepped away when he saw you, and he's pointing towards the campfire in the middle, where there's already food presented at, and he's like walking there, because you're several meters apart, so you have some time to react.
I guess the only thing that surprises Nick is obviously the military style aspect of this is training as if there's gonna be a war, and also the armbands in terms of are they making a lot?
Yeah, what you can see there on the side is basically baskets full of blue armbands, of different quality and different shades of blue. It seems a little bit hard to source the same kind of color and patternless in some cases, but they're pulling apart other types of cloth, like tapestries and different kinds of can even be tent canvas, anything that is light blue, and they're making them into
Have we
armbands.
seen any other colors since we've been walking through the camp? Was anyone else wearing?
No, that's
is it
why
Team Luvash, Team Blue?
Yeah,
Team Red, Aragon?
no, it hasn't. So that's also why it stood out to you, because this is the only group of Vistani that have chosen to basically dress as a group.
A uniform, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go enjoy it.
As Nyx goes up to Luvash with his outstretched hand, he says, Luvash, I hope you're doing much better than last we met. You planning for an invasion?
As you approach each other, even though Luvash's face twists in a friendly smile at your outstretched hand, it doesn't quite manage to wash away some sadness that lingers. Cookie, I'm just gonna go for 10-15 more minutes. You can go if you want to.
Okay, I have to go. Thank you guys. I love you all. It's been really
Love you
fun.
too. Bye bye.
Next year, I'm making a play. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still some sadness, lingers in his remaining eye that he doesn't seem to be able to shake. And he accepts your hand with a quick glance to Irius and Jupkos and this random pigtailed valley girl Vistana. And you also see that he's become more thickly built than the last time you saw him. The lines in his face, though, has sunken in and become more sharp as well. A tattoo of flowing red tears now decorates his face, stemming from his damaged eye. Brother Nix, no, I certainly hope not, but we need to become more prepared, especially with everything that's going on. Please, sit. I have food.
Nix nods and grabs like I don't know, a chicken leg or something, whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like hearty stuff here. It is not like the fine cheeses or, you know, desserts. Instead, there is like a assortment of fruits, different kinds of porridge that you can decorate with seeds and stuff like that. And then there's cured meats.
Yeah, cured meats.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
yeah, he takes a place around the fire.
There's nobody around the central campfire. There's kind of like a big, kind of empty space around it. People walk out of their way to kind of give a big berth for the central campfire, which is a bit of a sign of respect. However, the chocolate tiefling woman do post herself diagonally a few meters behind Luvash, but still underneath like the protected the cloth that shields you from the rain. And she has a hand resting on her weapon of choice, and she seems to like sometimes like scan the horizon, look at all of you, look at Luvash, but she has kind of like this distant look in her eyes, like she isn't listening actively.
Okay. Well, if it's like underneath a tarp or something like that, wherever Luvash's gesture just to go, we sit.
Yeah, exactly. And because you can easily coin that she is like acting like of course like a bodyguard to Luvash, and she is scanning for threats.
Jivkos will probably stay standing as he isn't going to eat, but he's going to like half pay attention to like everything going at hand, and half witness sort of the military like training and everything that's going on towards the corner.
Are you gonna mirror the short Vistana a bit?
No, he's not trying to act like a bodyguard. He's more
Okay.
just
It would have been funny if you would have gone to the
No,
opposite
to be
corner.
fair, I think he will look like that no matter where he is.
Oh, okay, that's true. There's a brief pause, and Luvash also gathers some stuff on his plate, and he takes a swig of like a low alcoholic drink. So, Nix, I'm glad you managed to come to the funeral. This time at least you are where you're supposed to be. Pray tell, will Esmeralda make an appearance too, or has she completely abandoned her family?
She's not too far away. Certainly within the boundaries of the mist. Last time I saw her, she was slightly west, but I'm pretty sure Ezzy would never miss the opportunity to say goodbye to someone she loves so well.
I hope that's true. I would have wanted her to be here. At least to show up to this. But don't fret too much. I'm truthfully not so angry. At least not at you anymore. After my daughter's death, I've gained some new perspectives. I must confess, I've come to respect your difficulties acting like proper family due to your heritage. And I think with the act of collecting my daughter's body, which I am thankful for, I think you've taken a step in the right direction. Proven that you haven't discarded your family. Continue to do so, and I'm sure the family will reciprocate in kind.
It's been a journey, what can I say?
Yeah. I've heard you've grown to become quite a fearsome man. Morgantha and her 2 daughters dead by all of your hands. Impressive. And well done. She's been a threat to the Vistani ever since she wanted to fool us with those dreadful enchanted pies that you told me about. Crimes against the Vistani should be answered, and I'm thankful that you meted out the punishment. I'm sad I couldn't been there with you.
Appreciate that. It was a struggle, but given what she had done, what that whole family had done to us as a people and to me personally, no one can subvert the course of justice. Everyone has to have what's coming to them.
See, that's why I've really started to come around. And why I think we're wrong to treat you like we've done. The Vistani need more people like you, Nix. More brothers and sisters ready to take action. You clearly show that we can grow beyond petty thieves, trinket sellers, and squishy artists. I think that in our blood is a mighty venom we can unleash on those who wishes us harm. I understand you've been working for the Count, is keeping Lady Illyria safe around Barovia, but we need you now, Nix. Join me. Help me protect the Vistani. Help me train the family. Help me keep us safe. Choose the family and prove your place among us, and I'll make sure no one will dare to call you anything else than brother.
Nix gives a small smile in understanding of what he said and acceptance, or like a thanks. Says, "Thank you, Luvash. I certainly appreciate the gesture. I do feel like action needs to occur. I have been doing my very best to show that action can change things. But I have recently learned some very revealing facts. And I think it should be the other way around, Luvash. I think I have to put myself in front of our people and show them that without action, we will always be slaves. And I need to be the figurehead. And so I extend the same offer that you have extended to me. When we were in Vallaki, you were under tremendous stress and pressures, and you were struggling to find anyone who would listen to you and to find what happened to your daughter. And despite how you treated me and my friends, we still stood up and took action and discovered what your people in Velaki could not. Now, this doesn't mean that they couldn't have found what happened. It's just how things have been going for years, centuries. Things have to change. And if it takes someone with a different approach, a different perspective, and that person is me, if it means our people can be free, I will be that person.
There's a bit of like a rumble of a laughter, and he kind of looks out to the tree line a little bit with a little bit of like appreciation and like a slow nod before he looks back. Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that you consider me a stand-up Vistana enough to want to have me on your side. The feeling is mutual. However, Nyx, I have spent many years initiating myself among the Vistani people. They know me. I've helped train many of them for the perils of the road. Been there when they needed my help. They look up to me as a symbol of safety. As I've said, we are all impressed of what you have accomplished as of late, but I'm afraid, and I am saying this truthfully and openly, not in an attempt to hurt you, but to help you. You are not leadership material, Nyx, and perhaps in a couple of years when you've grown and made yourself more known, spent more time with the Vistani and not hiding in Madame Eva's tent. Perhaps then there is a truly bright future for you. But you cannot believe that anybody would actually vote for you.
Nyx smiles and like almost reflects on what he's saying, but responds and says, "It's true. I am younger than you, and it is also true that you are more integrated into the people than I was. I was quick to renounce the hypocrisy that has been bleeding through our tribe when we bowed our heads to Strahd's gold and looked the other way when our kin died. And I rejected the idea that Vistani should accept crumbs from a tyrant's table. And for that, some may call me reckless. But is it reckless to want more for our people than what we've had? Is it reckless to reject a false master? Along my travels, I have been compiling stories, a reflection of what it's taken to get me here. So let me tell you a story, Luvash. There was once a wolf, fierce and proud, who lived among sheep. The sheep were content with their lot, grazing in the fields and hiding from the wolves of the night. The wolf, however, knew that the safety of the herd came with chains. A shepherd who fed them only enough to keep them docile while stealing their strength. I am that wolf. I refused to stay among the sheep. I refused to wear the collar, to be kept weak by the whims of a tyrant that sits in that castle overlooking us. If you want a leader who will keep you grazing in the fields, quietly accepting whatever fate Strahd decides, then follow yourself or one of the elders. But if you want someone who understands that the only way to break free is to fight for it, then follow me.
I am not really for metaphors or veiled messages, but I think I catch your meaning. The fundamental point that we differ is that I believe that we can turn the Vistani into wolves. And we will be able to treat with that other wolf on equal ground. But we need to do so carefully, for the protection of our people.
Lovash, if we have the same goal, if we together are looking to break the chains of the sheep that is our people, because what we have now and what has existed for too long doesn't work. The way that Aragal has led the people in the Lucky has not led us to any other position than under the shackles of a tyrant.
Yes, I know. I've come to disagree with my brother more and more these days. And there's certainly been a rift between us. Especially now. But, Nyx, I do like your spirit. I see a little bit of my younger self in you. In some ways. But we need to have some temperance too. Too radical of a change too quickly can lead to disastrous consequences. One step at a time. We need to build up the Vistani's strength, so we have a better hand to play. And we need to isolate ourselves from all of these other powers that be. We need to look inwards and protect each other. You speak with the rashness of youth. And I've said so before, we do need more of it. But we need to have a more of a tempered leader. And I'm sorry, Nyx. I am better for the Vistani than you are, currently. So again, I'm willing to take you underneath my wing. I think that we can create a good partnership. And I'm sure that you will grow to become truly a respected brother in arms.
Perhaps, Lovash, but let me ask you this. Are the old ways what have kept us strong? Or are they what have kept us bound to a dying land, under the thumb? Sometimes it takes young blood to see what the old eyes are too weary to recognize. That the world is changing, and clinging to the past would only drag us down with it. Besides, I have spent time with some outsiders from beyond the mists. We, the Vestani, have always walked between worlds with permission. We have always been the bridge between what is and what could be. I have seen the world beyond the mist, and I can tell you, there is more for us out there than the chains Strahd has shackled us with. If you think I am too young, then perhaps you are too old to see the future that awaits us. But if you are ready to let go of the past and embrace what we can become, then I will welcome you with open arms. And together we can forge something new, something greater than anything we've ever known.
There's fire in you, Nix. It's good. I'm starting to really like you. However, I am strongly for leaving the mists, because we are, as you say, under the thumb of a... well, if we displease him, our right to leave might get revoked, and that is a card too difficult to struggle against. However, I also believe that these ties to these other types of people that are not sharing the Vistana's grace, our hospitality, our familiar love, our morality, are dangerous too. And we should actually turn from them and become more self-sufficient, create our own society, have our own land. The more we treat with them, the greater the chances of our peril. So I ask you again, Nix. Let the Count, the Prince, and with all due respect, you, Lady Lyria, partake in whatever political works and drama that you prefer. I am taking the Vistani out of the picture.
Do you really think he will let you? Without another say in the matter. Van Richten was a particular man of interest who was working against us. He had an idea to take the Vestani out of the picture. He was the reason why the Vestani in Vallaki were murdered, you may recall. He was the culprit, and we brought him to justice. Not you. Not Aragal. Not the elders. No one but us. And to take the Vestani out of the picture is to relinquish Strahd, his ability to bring people into the mists for him to feed on, perhaps. Do you think that he will just simply allow you to leave? You say you want to make your own place, your own land. That cannot happen without Strahd no longer being in the picture.
He needs us as much as we need him. And I believe in the power of the Vistani people. I will roll the die in our favor and believe in our strength. And I believe that we can come to very favorable terms with the prince. At least for now. So, again,
Next
leave
closer.
these strange people behind and join our family, Nix. We need you.
Nick steps closer with a concerned look in his eyes and looks at Luvash intently and says, "What you will be doing is sending those people to their deaths. The prince will not negotiate. He will not listen to what your demands are. We are the playthings of him. he will do as he pleases, and if it means decimating your entire followers, so be it. He can always find more Vistani. He can always find more halvers to do his dirty work. You mean nothing to him. If you do this, you sign your own death warrant, and I would rather you stand by my side than underneath the ground. No. I have one last thing to potentially try and sway you.
He nods
And
slowly.
Nyx produces the Taraka deck. You know what this is. Ava.
Yes.
Ava gave these to me. Only me. She saw something in me. Her last prophecy was about and he gestures to the party, our future and the involvement we will play in freeing everyone within the Valley of Barovia, including you and your people. She gave these cards to me because she knew I was the one. I should be the one who leads people. And I have already performed my first reading.
One of his eyebrows does a little twitch up before he controls his face. And he doesn't speak for a while. He kind of turns inwards, furrows his brow, and thinks for a good minute. I choose to believe in our strength and the need for our safety. And I spent some time with the prince, and Aragal has spent... I know of their dealings. I don't think it would come to that. I think you're overestimating his temper. I still believe that I have a great chance here to do something good for our people. Something that the elders of Aragal can't understand. And so I'm willing to put the choice in our brothers and sisters' hands. And may Eva guide us from wherever she is. And if she's right about me, I will take that mantle with responsibility and solemnity. But if fate, if the family would choose you, I would step behind you.
Nyx puts both of his hands on each of Lubish's shoulders and says, "And if they choose you, I will do the same. But I will not leave these lands before ensuring Madame Eva's last prophecy comes to reality. I have made oaths to Illyria and the others here. It may turn out that our objectives might be in alignment, but thank you, Luvash, for hearing me out."
Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening too. I'm quite proud of the man that you've become. Let the best man win, and He holds out his hand to shake.
Nix shakes his hand.
Then good luck. I've been here
Don't
for
do anything. Go ahead.
I've been here for some time. Aragal right now is being very crafty, and the elders have a lot of familial support. It's going to be an uphill battle for you, but I am looking forward to see you fight.
Don't do anything stupid, Luvash, okay?
Never my intention. Alright. Eat my food. Drink more of my wine. As hospitality declares. And I have some more battles to oversee. We're seeing who can come out on top. Let's see if the weather can take me on. And he gives you a big smile, a pat on the shoulder, and the rest of the party, he only gives like a nod, a special one to Illyria, and then he leaves. And during that whole like time, conversation, Luva's focus was on Unix. It was basically never Illyria. And that's a little bit different from how you experienced the Vistani treat you as a group before.
Yay!
Yay! Gain the respect.
Oh my god. You're actually paying attention
Respect
to
plus
me.
one.
Yeah.
Everybody liked that.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to end tonight's episode of Charismatic Mystery. Yay!
Yay!